Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef. And in this edition of Cooking and Camping with the Step-by-Step Chef, I'm up on Mount Whitney. That's the highest mountain in the lower 48 states. And it is beautiful up here, but I've also worked up an appetite just driving to this point. I'm so hungry, I don't think I'll be able to climb the peak today. But what am I gonna make that's gonna bring me back into alignment and satisfy my hunger? A curried chicken sandwich. Doesn't that sound perfect? Of course it does. So come on, let's cook. We have about a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast here. I'm going to use half of a pepper. You can use red, green, orange, yellow, you name it, it's up to you. I'm also going to use half of an onion. That's a sweet onion, but any onion will do. About a teaspoon of black pepper, 2 or 3 tablespoons of curry powder, depending on your taste. We're going to use a tablespoon of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil to get it all browned up. And here are the ingredients for our curried chicken sandwich. First of all, we'll use about a cup of the curry chicken that we made. I have 2 slices of bread. This is sunflower bread. What a treat. But any bread that you prefer. We'll use a 1/4 cup of this sweet onion. You can use any onion you have. Yellow, white, red, you name it. And we'll use about a 1/4 cup of minced celery. And then we'll add a tablespoon or 2 of mayo to taste. And of course you can salt and pepper it too. So let me show you how to put all this together. And the first thing we'll do is chop our veggies. Now of course core the pepper and get rid of any of the seeds. Just discard that. And then we're just going to do a rough cut. Just basically dice the pepper. You just cut it lengthwise and then just chop it like this. We don't have to be too careful. People want to be able to taste the pepper, so we don't have to really mince it up. And this gives the chicken a nice fresh taste too, adding some veggies in with it. I could just curry the chicken and that's it. You don't have to do the veggie part if you don't want to. One veggie I wish I had, but I don't. You caught me without a pepper. Usually I like a serrano or a jalapeno pepper mixed in with this to add some heat. But I guess I used up my supply, man. And there's no place to get it out at Convict Lake. I can't even go to a store. There isn't even a country store out here for me to steal one at Convict Lake. Which, you know, sounds like a risky proposition. If you want to do some hard time in the Huskow, start stealing vegetables at Convict Lake. And it's named Convict Lake out here because in 1871 some prisoners escaped from a penitentiary in Carson City, Nevada, and they came out here and they holed up. Unfortunately, they picked a canyon that really has no outlet. So the lawmen showed up, they had a big shootout. Unfortunately, some people died on both sides. And poor Convict Lake has been stuck with that name ever since. It's such a harsh name for such a beautiful place, but you know, life can be like that. But it's kind of fun being here, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love this campground. So the onion, I just cut it in half like this, and then I want slivers. So I'm just going to cut it down and just make these little slivers. Again, I want the onion to have a little bit of a presence. I love adding veggies to these meat dishes. Okay, I thought I saw some onion skin get away. It made a quick getaway at Convict Lake. I don't see where it ended up, but hopefully it ran off into the woods. So I'm just going to put that right into our frying pan. Again, I'm working around a tripod, so if it looks a little awkward, it's because it is. Then I'm going to go get our chicken out of the cooler. I always try to keep cool foods cool when I'm working like this, because I am out in a hot sun. And safe food handling matters whether you are making this out at Convict Lake or out anywhere, or at home in your own kitchen. And now for the chicken. Now, I'm going to dice it because it cooks faster out here if it's diced. If you have a specific reason to keep it as a fillet or in some other form, then certainly do that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the curry. It doesn't matter to me. But it does cook quicker if you cut it down some. So this is like a curried chicken stir fry that I'm making. I guess that's a better way to put it. Although Convict Lake curry is curried, Convict Lake curried chicken certainly has a ring to it. I can see people lining up at the state pen, at the food truck in the state pen for that. That'd be really good. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut it into these smaller pieces. This way I can use it in just about anything. I can put it on rice, I can put it on pasta, I can throw it in a sandwich, and it's all very portable. So it's all set once I do this. Of course, I'm going to keep it in a cooler. I don't want to get some kind of chicken-borne disease, but this is really what we're going to do. So I'm going to do this for the other piece of chicken too, and I'll be right back. And here we are over at the old stove. And make sure to start this up following your manufacturer's instructions, and practice it at home too. Make sure your stove works. You don't want to get out in the field and find out it doesn't work. So I heard the hiss, I lit it. Hold your hand way high. I do feel the heat. Let's put our pan on there, and I'll add our oil so everything doesn't just stick to the pan. Okay. And let's stir that oil in. And this is cooking it just over medium heat, because I want it to cook pretty fast. And we're not leaving the vegetables all, you know, crunchy. I really want them to cook down too. So let's just get this started. And once it starts to brown, once the chicken starts to brown, then we'll add the seasonings. So it'll take me about 5 to 10 minutes to get this up to cruising altitude, and I'll be back then. Okay, so for the last 10 minutes I've just been giving it these little stirs and turning it, and the chicken is starting to brown up very nicely. You can see the chicken cooking. I wouldn't say brown. Usually browning is better with butter than with oil, but it is cooking. Veggies are starting to saute, and I don't care if the veggies cook down completely in the making of this dish. So I'm pretty pleased with the way it's progressing. And I'm going to give it another 5 minutes, and then we'll add our seasonings. I just want to make sure that the chicken is cooking well, and there's not a lot of pink meat here when I do that. Okay, so this is after 5 minutes more, and I'm not seeing any pink meat in the chicken. So I know the chicken is cooked through. If you're doing fillets or tenders or anything like that, you might have to cook it a little longer. And you might even have to cut one in half to make sure it's cooked the whole way through. But here comes our curry, the star of our show. And you can curry it up any way you want. You can add more or less than I do. I'm not a cook-tator. Not like a lot of the people you'll see on TV. I'm not going to make you make it my way or no way. I want you to make it so it tastes good to you. Here's a little soy sauce to add a little saltiness to it, with a slight twist. Here's our black pepper. Give it a little bite. Okay. And here's our pinch of sugar to smooth it all out. I'll just stir these ingredients in. You can see it's getting that nice curry yellow color. Wow, does that smell good. Hope it doesn't bring any bears a-running. Can you picture that? Bears sitting around eating my curry chicken? That would be kind of funny. Out of Convict Lake. Yeah, that would be the steal of the century. The crime of the century. That's why we don't leave food out in the wilderness. There we go. So I will see you in 10 more minutes. And 10 minutes later, looky here. That's done. Got a little bit of sauce, just a little bit of sauce in case I have this on rice or couscous. But that's done. Look at that color. Yum! And we'll just start by mincing our onion, of course. And as in keeping with cooking and camping with the Step-by-Step Chef, I reuse everything. So this onion, you might recognize it from past episodes. In fact, it was in the curry chicken one. That's probably why you recognize it. So I'm just cutting, scoring the top of the onion, lines close together because we are mincing it, and only go as deep as you think you are going to need that amount of onion. That way you can save the rest of the onion for your next dish. And now I'm cutting perpendicular to those lines, very close together. And that's going to make a nice minced onion. And then we just cut down the face. Don't need a fancy food processor when we're camping, plus the cord wouldn't reach anyways. Not from way back in Florida when I'm out here in California. I've tried it. And then with the celery, we're going to do basically, let me just get the bread out of the way, in a nice clean place. Celery, we're just going to slice lengthwise like this. And keep the lines kind of close together. Oops, had a little celery failure there. And then we just cut it like this. Oh, this sandwich is going to be so tasty. You're going to love this. And as I said in the episode where we made the curry chicken, you can do all kinds of stuff with that. I've actually had that on pasta, on angel hair pasta. It's very good. I've had it on rice. I've just sat and eaten it straight out of the container. Let's say I've been hiking and I'm starving. It's just a nice, sensual, spicy food. I just absolutely love curries. And it's so easy to make. I hope you'll check out the extended recipe for that. And then we're just going to put this in the plate. Oops, didn't mean to bump you. And as you know, I love to make everything veggie rich, so you can add less veggies if you want. It's just totally up to you. But I like to keep sneaking the veggies. That's what keeps me healthy on the road. I rarely get sick, seriously. And a lot of it I credit to this food. And then let's move this aside. There you go, that's a better view. And we'll just scoop out as much of the curried chicken as we think we're going to use. Yum. And we can cut that finer. You know, you can just really mince this up if you want to, so that pieces of it don't fall out when you're eating your sandwich, which kind of defeats the purpose of the sandwich, which is basically, it's a bread vise to hold the prized ingredients. So I saw those two pieces could use a little, oh, that looks pretty good. And then we just add our mayo. And again, mayo to taste. Might want to skip it all together. It's totally up to you. Okay. And then we just stir it up. Just like any other sandwich meat. You just stir it up, get that mayo nice and uniform. And again, you can salt this a little bit if you want to. When I made the original curry recipe, it was just perfect to my taste, so I don't really need to salt it. Wow, doesn't that look yummy? And there we go. Okay. And then we just add it to our bread. Or you can put it in a sub roll. You can put it in anything you want. Doesn't that look yummy? In fact, I'm going to sneak a scoop, even though we're filming. Oh my goodness. That was one tasty sandwich. And I'll eat the rest of that with just a fork. Oh. So congratulations, look at what you just made. You just made this delicious chicken curry sandwich. Oh, with veggies, it's just the perfect meal. Now, if you like this recipe, please check out my website, StepByStepChef.com. There you will find a printable version of this, I'm drooling, of this recipe, along with printable versions of over 175 other dishes. And each one of those also comes with a step-by-step chef video, which is also free. That's a lot of free. And since we're doing cooking and camping with the Step-by-Step Chef, the other thing you will find there is videos that will help you to be a happy camper. I show you step by step the easy way to camp that works for me, and then you can make it your own. So I'm Larry Richardson, I am your Step-by-Step Chef, and I'll see you in the next episode. I usually do that now.